Hello guys, welcome. Once again, this is Noriel of I Am a Super User, and I have a short and simple video today for you. Uh, a simple demonstration of Fog project. It is a free open source Ghost, a computer imaging, cloning, and management program. So what we have here on my server, I have the ASXi 6.0, and I installed the Ubuntu and pfSense, and on top of the Ubuntu server I have the fog running. So as we can see here, so this is my ESXi. I have my pfSense and also have my Ubuntu server, and on top of this server I have the fog running on it. And I also have another machine which I have the VirtualBox installed, and I have there the domain controller running on Windows Server 2008 R2 and Windows 7, which is my base or my source image, which I'm going to upload to the server and going to deploy to the destination computers. So this is my uh, domain controller, and this is my Windows 7 base image. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, so let's start. So what you can do with fog actually, so like I said, fog is a computer cloning or imaging program. So what you can do is you capture or image your source computer, and then later you can deploy that source or that image to different computers on your network. So we have, let me open another slide here, this one. Okay, so you basically have have these operations, all of these tasks over the network. So I have here my virtual machines, host or the source image, and you can also have the physical source image. So what you want to do is, for example, you have a physical computer, a laptop or a desktop. Then you want to this computer to be the base source image, and you want to deploy that image over the network to these computers. So that way you don't have to install everything from start, from the operating system and the applications to these computers. So what you want to do is just install everything on this computer. So you install the OS, you install all the applications, you configure all the settings, etc. And then once it is done, capture it, upload it to the server, to the fog server, and then deploy it to these machines, to the destination machines that you would like to. But I highly recommended to use a uh, virtualized system, or a virtual create your system into a virtual machines. So that way, if you have misconfigured anything, or anything bad happen, you can easily revert the snapshot that you created. So while you are building your machine on the virtual machine here, you create snapshots, so that once in progress, once something bad happens, you can easily revert back to those snapshots. So you can install here via VirtualBox or VMware on this single computer. So you can install the Windows 8, Windows 7, Windows 10, XP. So you install the operating system, then install the applications needed and the settings, configurations, and then you want to upload it to our server and deploy it. So for example, you have a CAD or multimedia users here. So you also have the remote users, which are using laptops, and some office users here. So what you want to do is to create, for example, for the CAD or the multimedia users, you create your virtual machine here. So for example, you have Windows 7, and then you install all the applications and configure it for the use of the CAD multimedia users. So you install the CAD software, the multimedia software, if you have Premiere, or you have Vegas or anything, video rendering programs. So you install that on this machine and upload it to the server, and then deploy it to these users. So just imagine if you have hundreds of computers of multimedia users. You handle a large number of computers, large networks. So imagine the task, the time that you're gonna save, the effort that you'll be saving. Because if you didn't have this program, you have to install manually the operating system and all the applications and configure the settings on each machines. It's gonna take a lot of time. But if you have this fog program, so you have to create and configure just one machine, and then once it is ready, you upload it to the server and then just deploy it over the network on all machines that you have on the network. Okay, so yeah, you can create unlimited images here, and just select the right image or this right source image to be deployed. So you can create an office computer here, configure it for office use, and deploy to this network or to this group of users. You can create a remote users a computer that intended for remote users, and then deploy it to this group. Okay, so I hope you got it. I hope I explained it well. Okay, so to demonstrate that, let us let me try to show you what we have here. Okay, so this is my fog dashboard. So you will be managing your network, your computers and everything on this dashboard. Okay, so I have here a image management. So I have here the images. I have Windows 7 admin, Windows 7 multimedia, office users, and I also have Windows 8. So as we have as we see in here on the first slide here, so we have the office users, this one, the multimedia users, and remote users. So I'm going to install and configure a machine, and will be uploading those machines to their corresponding images here. Okay. So to show that, to demonstrate that, I have here the Windows 7. So this is my Windows 7, and I configure this Windows 7 for office users. So let's say you already installed all of the applications, all the files needed, and the configuration. So this will be your base image. So you set up everything here, and then we're going to upload this Windows 7 to our uh, here, the Windows 7 office users, and then we will deploy that on these office users. Okay. Okay, so I already set this Windows 7, and I have all, let's assume that I have all the applications needed for the office users, and I already configured the settings, the network shares, and everything, the networks settings and configurations and everything. So now I'm ready to upload this image, and I will go to and Sysprep. I'll run this one. Okay, so we have to do this the Sysprep, and then this. Okay. Okay, so before you do this, make sure that you are ready to upload your base machine before sysprepping it. Okay, so load up all your applications and configure all your settings before doing this. So later, once we deploy this image, this storage image that we have here, we must see exactly what we see here, and everything that we have here. This should be duplicated, or the exact copy of this image should be copied, or yeah, duplicated to our destination machine, or to those destination computer. And the what I like on Fog is it doesn't need to be your source machine and your destination machine doesn't need to be identical. So you can create, like I said, your source image to a virtual machine or to a physical computer, for example a Dell computer, and then deploy it to an HP laptop or an HP computer, so you won't have any problem with it. So it doesn't require an identical hardware. Okay, I think it is done, and it will be shut down. So the next step that we're going to do, once the image is ready, let's go to our here on our Fog portal, and let's see here the host management, list all host. Okay, so we don't have any host yet. So the host is the computer, actually the computer, and we have to register it first on our server, on our file server, before we can upload and download or deploy an image. So let's register first our Windows 7 machine. uh Let me, okay, let me fix this real quick. Okay, so like I said, when Windows 7 is running on VirtualBox, so this is the Windows 7 that we have seen earlier. So to register this machine to our server, to our file server, all you have to do is boot your machine into the network. So since I have, this is a virtual machine, I will just easily go to this settings here, select the network to first boot in boot order. So it should boot first on over the network. Click OK. So in case that you have a physical machine, a physical computer, just go to the boot options or onto the BIOS, and set your BIOS to boot your machine to the network first. Okay, then let's start. Okay, where is it? Okay, so let me get that. Oops, what happened? Mhm. Let me capture that. Okay. Okay, so this is the our Windows 7, and it booted on the network, and this is you gonna see. So it says that the host is not registered. So all we have to do is do a quick registration and inventory, then just hit enter, and then it will register on our to our file server. We should see that here on our portal later on our dashboard. Okay, so it is done. Let me shut down that first. Then let's check here. Okay, there you go, there's our Windows 7. Then we will edit this one, and let's say Windows 7 Office host. Oops. Windows 7 Office. Okay, and then on the host image, on this part, you have to select which image, which will be the container of this host. So like I said, I'm going to deploy this image to these Office users, so I'm going to select the Windows Office users, update. Okay, so this is our Windows 7 Office users here. Okay, so once we upload the host, once we capture this, for now we just register this machine, the Windows 7 machine. So the next step will be uploading that machine into this server, and it will be uploaded to this image here, the Windows Office users on this one. Okay, so let's do that. Let's upload the image. Let me start it first. Okay. Okay, so let's go to a host management, list all host, and then let's say upload. So here saying that we want to upload this host and will be saved on this image. Okay, so create upload task, and then you can monitor the task here on our task management. Alright, so let me turn on that Windows 7 so it should be uploaded to our fog server. Okay, so again, just all you have to do is boot that machine to the network, and it will fog server will do the rest. Okay, so it is now uploading into our server. So just imagine that you can do this simultaneously, and you can upload uh, uh, multicast. Let's say you have 20 computers, or yeah, you can deploy 20 computers or more depending on the size or the capacity of your network. You can do that. So now it's uploading. So the speed of the upload and the download or the deployment will vary depending on your network speed, and also to the depending on your size of the image that you're uploading and downloading. So I think I'm gonna pause this video first while it's uploading, and I'll be right back. I'll be right back when it's almost done. Okay, it's almost done. Alright, so it is done, and we can check here in our uh, let's see here in our image. There you go. You can see here the Windows 7 Office users have the uh, this size of the host image, the host computer that we uploaded. Okay, so Yeah, so right now we have a Windows 7 Office users, Windows 7 host image that is ready to deploy to those Windows 7 Office users. So if we go back here, so we already have the Windows 7 upload created as a virtual machine and uploaded to our fog server, and now we are ready to deploy that Windows 7 image actually on any devices here on your network. You can do that without a problem, but since the configuration, the applications and everything on that Windows 7 machine, on that Windows 7 host, is intended for Office users, so we're going to deploy that host image to this group of users, group of computers. Okay, so I have here, actually I have here a uh, this one. So I set up a camera on and set up the old computer that I have. So I'm going to uh, deploy this image to this computer here. So this is an actual machine, physical computer. So I'm going to deploy the image that we just uploaded on our server to this computer. Okay, so to do that, we have to register first before this computer, because we can't do anything on computers that are not registered on our server. So let me turn on that computer. Okay, and I will set this computer to boot on the network, just like we did on our virtual machine, on our virtual host. Okay, just wait for a while. Alright, so we have an option to boot from hard disk, run memtest, and what you want is to perform a quick registration and inventory. Hit enter, and it will register to our server. Okay, let's just wait for it. Okay, I think it is done. Then let's check here in our server here, list of hosts, and we have a new host name here. So this is the old our physical computer. So let's edit that one. Let's say old computer, or let's say Office PC1, since we are assuming that we are deploying the image to our Office computers. And here in host image, of course we must select the Windows 7 Office users, which has already has the host image uploaded on this uh, group, or on this image. So just update, list all host, and what you're going to do. So earlier the host computer, we said upload to upload it to the fog server. And now in our office computer, we will say download. So what happened is we upload this host into this image, and now that this image has captured the configurations and all the settings of this machine, and now we are downloading this image into this computer. So just click download, create the download task, and then let's check here in our task management, and let's go back to our uh, actual computer. Then let's boot that again, and of course again it should boot on the network just like we did. And now what's happening is the Windows 7 host that we have on our virtual machine and uploaded to our server is now downloading in this uh, physical computer that we have here. Okay, so actually I decided to put this setup to download or to deploy the image that we just uploaded in our server into a physical and actual machine, so you'll see that it really works. Okay, so I'm gonna pause this video again, and we'll be right back when it is almost done. Okay, so what we are doing now, what's happening right now is we are downloading the host image or the host computer into one of these office users. But you can also do that simultaneously, multicast. If you have 50 or hundreds of computers and you want to use this image here that we uploaded on our server, you can do that. So the speed of the deployment will depends on your network, on your network speed, and on the size of the host image. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna pause this again, and we'll be right back. Yeah, so just imagine how much time and effort you can save by doing this. All you have to do is set just one image, download it to the server, and deploy it anywhere on your network. Imagine if you have hundreds of computers on your network. That will be a pain to install everything from scratch on each computer. But having this program, having this on your network, it will surely help you make your job easier. Okay, so it's almost done. So once it is done, we can now boot that computer to the hard disk, and let's see if what will happen. So if you have a better hardware, network hardware, I think it might go faster. Okay, it is done. And let me boot that computer again. And this time I would like to boot this computer on the hard drive, because we already done registering it, and we already done uh, deploying the image to this computer. For the advanced users, actually, you can create the unattended XML file or answer file. So when it set up on the destination computer, you would have to configure anything if you have set everything on your answer file. So you can have an unattended install of this one. But for this demonstration, I just uh, demonstrate a simple and basic deployment. Okay, so it says setup is installing devices. So actually, if you configured and set up your host and source image as to have an unattended install, if you have created your answer file, you can leave this computer and have your coffee or watch your soccer game, and this it will set up everything for you. So it's a one thing that you might like to consider also. Okay, let's just wait. I don't want to pause this video on this part, because I don't want you to think that I did something and hid something from you just to work, just to show on the video that it works. So let's see if there's an error or anything pops up. You'll see on this video. Okay, so it restarted again. Okay guys, so if you are interested with this program, since this is just a demonstration, if you're interested, I could create a series of video on how to set everything up, from installing the uh, Ubuntu server, the network, the pfSense, the domain controller, and everything. So just tell me if you're interested. Leave your comments below, so I will know if you're interested. Okay, office. So like I said, if you created an unattended XML answer file, you don't have to do this. You won't have to do this. It will directly install and set everything up, and all you have to do is wait till it loaded, on your desktop. Okay, so the next step is to sign in here. This is the user profile that uh, you seen earlier on our Windows 7 host on VirtualBox. Okay, and it automatically installed the drivers. So in terms of the drivers, I download the drivers at what do you call this, driverpacks.net. So I download those drivers. If you have 64-bit or 32-bit, so just download those corresponding drivers. And I have a script and I have a tool. It's the SAD tool, the SAD2. I actually loaded that tool and the script on the host machine. So when it deployed on the destination machine, it will automatically install the drivers, and you don't have to worry anything about it. So after the install of drivers, you have to restart the computer, and there you go. You'll have your fully functional computer from your host image. So as you can see, guys, it already has an internet connection. And those programs installed on the host machine or the host source machine is also installed on this destination machine that we have. If you remember the desktop of the host machine on VirtualBox earlier. So the same desktop that you see now on this actual computer. Okay, so I think that will conclude this video, this demonstration. So on this part, it's still installing the driver, and after that it will restart, and you can now after that you can use your computer. Okay, so there's nothing to do after that. So I think let's end this video. So let's have a conclusion. So what we did is first we uh, install the Windows 7 via VirtualBox, and we installed everything and all the applications and the settings, and we uploaded the host machine, that host computer, into our fog server. And once it is uploaded, we deploy it to the destination computers that we have. Okay, so just imagine, and I hope you see the big picture of it, that it will be greatly help you to make your job easier, uh, most especially if you have a large networks and large numbers of computers. So just imagine the effort and time that save you'll be saving if you would have to just upload just one image on the server and deploy it to those machines. Compare it to installing those computers, or installing the OS and everything, the applications each on each computer. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and again, just tell me if you're interested with this program, and if you're interested to learn about it, so I could make a tutorial for you. Okay, so and just tell me also if you happen to use this program already, and maybe you want to share a feedback from your actual experience, or if you are using a different solution with the same functionality as this one, so you can share those to us in our comment section. Okay, so thank you for watching this video, and again, this is Noriel of I Am a Super User.